165 in your ABCs of Christian Maturity book. We are hopefully going to finish this study tonight. And then I will pass out, well, I won't pass out, but I will hand out these, I don't know why I'm in that kind of mood tonight, you know, it's just, I'm just a funny guy. All right, so I will hand out these, the next study is letter J, that's judging and discerning. We'll all learn how to do that like expert judges. What's that? That's right, that's right. All right, so our last section here is going to be Israel, a glorious nation. Remember, we're just kind of like continuing through the timeline of history and future prophecy. And where we're at right now is we're getting into the kingdom. We talked last week about Israel being a saved nation. This takes place into the tribulation, going into the kingdom. Now, Israel being a glorious nation. It says, to this day, none of the 4 prophetic covenants have been completely fulfilled. Remember the covenants? We went back, you can go back to, I think, page 159. You can see the chart there for the covenants. They will be completely fulfilled in the new covenant. It says, while Israel is in Palestine today, it by no means possesses all the land promised to Abraham. That's point number 1 there, or bullet point, first bullet point. Then it says, the modern nation of Israel is a parliamentary democracy, not a kingdom. Interesting. I was studying some of the, I don't know why, but one night I was on the computer and I was like, you know, it's only like 5.5 hours to drive to Windsor, Canada. Drive up to Detroit, cross the bridge, and be in Canada. And then I was like, it was one of those rabbit trails. You know, sometimes you think of something, and then like this was in the middle of the rabbit trail. Okay, just like the rabbit trail we're taking right now. This was in the middle of the rabbit trail. We were talking about history. I'm fascinated by the history of like the English language and stuff. And so when anything kind of like sparks my thought on that, and then I start looking at, oh, you know, so I actually followed like from William the Conqueror all the way to Queen Elizabeth, you know, the different monarchs all the way down. And then when I saw that, though, I saw that Queen Elizabeth is like queen of like most of the world right now. Like, how in the world does that work? It like lists all the different, I don't mean really most of the world, but there's a lot of places listed. It lists all the places that she's the queen. And one is Canada. I was like, she's the queen of Canada? I didn't realize. I mean, we've got a nation just north of us that is a monarchy, and I knew that vaguely, but forgot, and I was like, huh? How in the world does that work? So I looked up on YouTube. I just searched, how does the Canadian government work? And then it came back with, it doesn't. No governments work. No, I'm just kidding. It came back. No, it came back. It came back. Basically, it's a parliamentary monarchy. Is what it is. So they have a parliament. They have 2 houses. You know, the Senate and the House. And then and it's way different. Their elections are different. You don't vote for the prime minister. You vote for your local representatives, who will vote for their for the. I may be getting it all wrong, but it's close. Okay, so then they vote for their whoever's going to represent their state, you know, or the region of their state for in the federal government. Then. Or the parliament. And then the parliament, they've got a weird way of how laws get passed too. So I watched it all. I can't remember all the details, but it basically goes through the House. The House approves it. The Senate, now Senate members are basically the elite, like literally the elite. I mean, they have to actually have a certain amount of net worth in order to be a senator. They actually have to be above a certain net worth to be a senator. And and all of the laws have to go through them. They have to approve them. Rarely do they ever deny them, but they have to approve them. Then it goes to the something governor. I can't remember what it's called. Anybody know? Nobody knows anything about Canadian government now. Okay, something or another government or governor, and this guy is the representative of the Queen, and he will sign the law into law in Canada. He will sign the bill or whatever into law on behalf of the Queen, and he is appointed by the Queen, and the Queen can say, "You are, you're my representative. That's good," or "I don't like you. You're fired. Here's a new person." Then there's are you Canadian? Oh, yeah. Queen? I would guess so. I mean, she's the Queen of Canada. I mean, she's also the Queen of the UK, but she decided to live there. I don't know. I wouldn't know why. I mean, maybe it's a little warmer than Canada. New Zealand, Australia. There's like a whole bunch. You look it up sometime. Don't do it right now. You can look it up sometime, and you can get. It's like a whole bunch of places. What's that? Yeah, yeah. The prime minister is I can't remember. Basically, like the Israeli government. This is why I went into that. Parliamentary. The prime minister of the Israeli government is basically the leader of the party. The leader of the party for the ruling party. So you're like right now, if we were in a parliamentary system, and you took all of our House of Representatives and Senate and all of the partisan positions, like right now, the Republican Party is the majority party. Well, the Republican Party would then nominate and elect a prime minister out of their party to run basically to lead the government in all of what they do. I don't know all of the little details, but I just thought the parliamentary system is an interesting kind of system. Israel's democracy, it's similar. They have multiple parties. I want to say 5 to 7 parties. I may be wrong. It may be way more than that. But basically, that's, and then they have these other weird factors of like, weird. I mean weird to us, not necessarily weird to them. I don't know. But if the prime minister can't put together a cabinet within a certain period of time, then he loses his job and somebody else gets to take it. And that's like, and he's got to put together a cabinet from all the represented parties in parliament. So, and then Israel also has a president, which is more of a symbolic figure, but doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, for example, right now, when you think of the Israeli government, who do you think of? Benjamin Netanyahu. Yeah. What'd you say? Bibi? Yeah. Benjamin Netanyahu. That's who you think of, right? Who's he? What's his position? Prime Minister. Does anybody know who the current president of Israel is? President? No. I don't know if I'm pretty sure that the prior president, the one, I don't know who the current one is, unless the current one is still the one that it was, and I've got him mixed up with somebody else. There was a guy named Perez who was the president. I thought he died, but I might be wrong. He passed away. Okay. So, anyways, interesting stuff. But they're not a kingdom right now. They don't have a king, and they will. It'll be King Jesus sitting on the throne of David. So obviously that part of the covenant has not been fulfilled. Third bullet point. Man, you guys got me way out of left field there. Yeah, that's right. It's the man pop-up. Amen. Are you guys? Did you watch the video from Sunday? You got to watch it. We talked about men's minds and women's minds and stuff. You get a man pop-up, you're stuck on it. You can't go anywhere, right? Ladies get pop-ups all over the place. You got to choose. Men have to choose which one. Ladies got. They're just pretty much look at all this stuff. thinking about, uh-oh. No, I'd scoot a little bit further away from Linda. No, I'm just kidding. um, no, it makes them more capable of multitasking than men. So, what? So, anyways, where are we going here? Yeah, it was that man pop-up. Thank you. So, while some Jews have been saved down through the centuries, the nation is still in abject disbelief, unbelief. You go to Israel today, all you have there is Judaism that's dead pretty much, and you have Islam and Catholicism. What's that? Probably not. But if we tried to do the same things we do here in the ministry, there, it probably wouldn't be very long before something bad would happen. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now if we went street preaching in Iran or something, Iran, we'd probably lose our heads. What's that? Yeah. So all the conventional or all the covenantal, there we go. All the covenantal promises will finally be fulfilled in the millennial kingdom of Christ. It says to see Isaiah chapter 11 verses 1 through 10. It says there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse. No. Try later. See, I like look at the computer and start reading, and the next thing you know, boom, red. I saw yellow. All right, so there's a big red pop-up. All right, so who's it talking about here? The stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of its roots. Who's Jesse? Anybody know who Jesse is? David's father is Jesse, yes. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, and the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked, and righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. By the way, there's some people say the lion and the lamb. I don't know where they get that, but the wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, the calf with the young lion. That's probably where they're getting it. They mix up the lion with the wolf, and they mix up the calf with the lamb. Calf is a cow. Calf with the young lion, and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox, and the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp. In other words, the baby's going to be like, hey, check it out, a snake. Everything's okay. Don't have to worry about it, right? We don't freak out. Oh no, the snake's going to bite him, because it won't happen. The weaned child shall put his hand in the cockatrice's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. So it's a glorious land. Obadiah chapter 1 verses 17 through 20 say, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess. Let them go. Their possessions, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and that's why they were going down. That was an ambulance, not a fire truck. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau. I'm trying to make sure I don't skip the blank here. They of the plain, the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead, and the captivity of the host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Shepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. And then we have Ezekiel chapter 48, verse 1. So the northern border is going to be what? What? Hamath. Yes. It says, now these are the names of the tribes going from the north end to the coast of the way of Hethlon, as one goeth to Hamath, Hazarinan. Don't make it. All right. The border was that like a hey, he got the word right. The border of Damascus northward, and the coast of Hamath, or to the coast of Hamath. For these are the sides east and west. Portion for Dan. So its southern border is going to be. Now, we're not going to read all of these difficult to read names of cities right now, because I'd like to be done on time. So southern border is to the wait a minute. Let me see. Somebody give me your is there? Yeah, southern border is to the blank of Egypt. River. To the river of Egypt. And to the river toward the Great Sea. You have to look at the context there, I'm sorry. River of Egypt. Psalm 48, verse 2. Hey, we sing that all the time, don't we? What, the river of Egypt? That's the Nile, yeah. So number 3, it will be, that's right, beautiful for situation. Number 4, living water shall flow out from Jerusalem. Is that? Go out? Mine says flow. Okay, go, flow. Oh, you're pointing there. I was reading from the book. You're reading from the right book, so. All right, amen. We'll go with that, except I wonder. See, here it says issued. Out from under the threshold of the house. And then, yeah, go, flow, depends on issue. Going out anyway. Let's see. Make sure I'm not skipping too far ahead. Okay, so glorious land. Just to kind of picture it, I'm gonna look at this map you gave me here. So this doesn't even include the whole thing. Oh, right here. So okay. So you guys can't really see this. See, the pink is the basically Saudi Arabia, and then you have Canaan here. It's green. That's the Fertile Crescent there. Green. Um, and anyway, this is supposed to be current Bible times and now, so naming all of this. So from the river Euphrates, I mean, if we look at what God told Abraham, from the river Euphrates to the river of Egypt, that's all of this land here, right? Quite a bit. Why Israel used to have Sinai, but I think they gave it back. Anyways, so large area, very large area compared to what they have now. It would include Jordan and like, crossing the river over and going to it would cross. Let's see, it would include Iraq. It would include Syria. It would include Jordan, part of Saudi Arabia. It would include part of Egypt, like half of Egypt. It's a whole bunch. It's going to be a glorious land. Oh, you got another one. Okay. There you go. Yeah. So then the next thing, a glorious kingdom. So where's the capital going to be? Jerusalem. We have this indicated in Isaiah chapter 2, Micah chapter 4, and Zechariah chapter 8. And then, who's the king? The Lord. Who is the Lord? Jesus is the Lord. And he is going to be the king. So the Lord shall be king over all the earth, there in Zechariah chapter 14, verse 9. Again, we have Isaiah chapter 9, verses 6 and 7, where it says, For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government, the peace there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David, and upon his kingdom, to order it, and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. So, and then Isaiah 33, verse 22, tells us that the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, and the Lord is our king. He will save us. Jeremiah there, again, we're talking about a branch of righteousness growing up unto David. So this is the line, the lineage. And then I think he doesn't give us, okay, he doesn't make the connection with it being Jesus, but we know you follow the lineage, it's Jesus, okay? He fulfills the prophecies there that are given. And so next thing here, so the Lord's apostles will serve as what? Judges. Matthew chapter 19, verse 28 says, Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit on the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. They're going to be judges of Israel. Okay. Also in Isaiah chapter 1, verse 26, it says, I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called City of Righteousness, the faithful city. So Jerusalem will be called, we just read that verse, the City of Righteousness. It's going to be called the faithful city. Ezekiel 48, verse 35. We have, yes, the Lord is there. And then the city of the Lord, Isaiah 60, verse 14. Then we have Isaiah 62, verse 4. What? You guys have more than I do. Let me see a page here. That's what happens when you have different versions of it. Ooh. Okay, so you guys have what did you say, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Oh, no, I've got that. I just skipped it. Yeah, because, Hephzibah. Anybody know what Hephzibah means? Anybody? Going once? Going twice? It means delight. 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 There's one that he missed. What? There's one that I missed too then. The next one should be thought out. Thought out. Okay? But there's one that's missed that says the land should be called Beulah. Beulah. Anybody know what Beulah means? Nope. Married. Married. Yes. Yes. Well, Israel's the bride, yes, in that sense. The wife in that sense. The church is the bride in the sense of the bride of Christ. Israel is the wife of God in his position as Jehovah, okay? And then the wife of, or the bride of Christ is the church. That can get confusing because Jesus is Jehovah. But I believe probably the father, the wife of the father, yeah. That's the understanding I have of it as well. You have the wife of the father and the wife of the son. Israel being the wife of the father. And, but he's represented, though, Jehovah, the angel of the Lord, is Jesus every time in the Old Testament. So anytime that God is manifest, that's through the Son. Except when the Father went by Moses and he said, "You can't even look at me or you'll die." So, because you can't see the front and live. So, glorious people. So we have the saints shall possess the kingdom. This is talking about Israel, saints of Israel. Okay, and then the remnant of Israel. Shall what? Say, call upon the Lord. Yeah. Yep. That's Isaiah 10:20. Well, wait a minute. No, I'm there. Isaiah 10:20, but it does say stay there. So we have the saints shall possess the kingdom, the remnant of Israel. What's that? Stay upon the Lord. Yeah, I got it wrong. Stay. Sometimes I look at the question and I'll come to my first answer, and I'll be in a hurry or something when I'm going through and studying and getting ready, and I'll look at it and then I'm like, oh, it's a call upon the Lord. That's how I got called. But how'd you get called? Same thing, just what first popped in your head, right? The remnant shall stay upon the Lord. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. This is our text for that question. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel in truth. Yes, stick with God. All right. And they shall be one nation under God, indivisible. Wait a minute. That's not, yeah. Well, they will be one nation under God, indivisible. And they will have liberty and justice for all because it'll be God ruling the nation. So, anyways, yeah, I'm not to say that I'm in support of that per se, but for here, it's interesting how we try to make America Israel all the time in all kinds of things that we do. God bless America. We write hymns about America and all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting how we do that. But I'll just leave it right there. And we'll save that for another day. Not that I'm not patriotic. or anything, but letter D, glorious. That is what? Overboard button, yes. That's some of those things are things that we'll just have discussion, one-on-one or something, if you have a question about that, we can talk about. There's some things that I'm kind of like, I kind of think this, but I don't necessarily make it a public matter. Something that, at least not on the internet. What's that? Yes. So Christ shall build a temple. Details and dimensions of this magnificent structure are given in Ezekiel chapters 40 through 44. Now, I will say this. They get that, or what the Jews get from that is, some Jews believe that the temple should not be rebuilt until the Messiah builds it. So, what I believe will take place based on that, at least what I think might happen based on that, is that the Antichrist will be integral in the building of the temple, third temple. Yeah. So that will actually, the covenant, the temple being built, all of that happening will be like he's the Messiah, and that's why Israel will fall, because they have peace, they have the temple, all of that. So there you go. But he will build the temple in that time. And you know what? At that point, you see the temple of the tribulation. A lot of times we talk about the temple, what's going to be built, and all of that. Well, the temple of the tribulation, I believe, is a temporary temple. In fact, the temple of the kingdom is a temporary temple as well. It's only 1,000-year reign. So after that, it's all done away, and there's no longer a need for a temple, because the tabernacle of God, or the dwelling place of God, is with man at that point. But we have the temporary temple of the tribulation. That's a lot of T's. That will be set up, and we talk about, it could. I've said, the space of the Temple Mount could hold the temple, could hold the Dome of the Rock, could hold another building or two, and still have room for people to be standing around. So we say that. However, when this temple's built, the one that Jesus will build, he won't have any problems with, there won't be any issues with Islam or Catholicism, because it'll be like, they'll be gone. They'll be gone. They won't exist anymore, because God himself will be sitting on the throne, and there won't be any more false religion. It'll just be Jesus. There he is. So he'll build the temple. A great altar will be erected. Ezekiel chapter 43, verses 13 through 17 deal with that. It says the continual blood sacrifices will be a memorial rather than anticipatory. Okay? So as in the Old Testament, the blood sacrifices were anticipating the sacrifice that would be once for all sin. And so after the cross, of course, blood sacrifices are memorial of the sacrifice of Jesus. Not as a matter of, so it says, serving to remind men of the cause of the millennial peace and righteousness, that the cause will be praised more than the effect. Okay, and the cause being that Jesus Christ was the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world, and he rules. I don't just mean that in the way that people say that rules today, but he literally will rule the world at that time. Number 3, the nations shall go up annually to worship the Lord. Think about that. Like, all right, everybody, hop in the church bus. We're headed to New York. We're going to get in a boat and go across the sea, or maybe, who knows, maybe we'll still have planes and everything then. What's that? What? Build a bridge? Oh, pilgrimage. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll still have planes. I don't know. But annually, we'll go to Jerusalem. Or maybe we'll all move closer and not have it all this area out here. I don't know. But that'd be an interesting thing. Just imagine what that would be like, you know? That's pretty cool. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, we may or may not have that type of technology, or we may not use that. Yeah, very likely. But or for those of us that already have the glorified body, because obviously Israel, and I don't think teleport would happen, but but maybe some things like what Jesus was able to do, like walk on water and stuff. I don't know. There's all this speculation on that. We'll find out when it's time. So it's not a spirit; it's a glorified body. We have flesh and all that as well, but it's not flesh like we have today. It's got weaknesses and all of those kind of things. So, but could you imagine like running across the Atlantic Ocean to Israel from here? Like, on my way, Lord, here we come. Like, pew! I don't know. There's a lot of good speculation on that, but I think it's really interesting to think about the fact that somehow, in some way, we'll all go to Jerusalem to worship every year. So, number 4, last but not least, truly, this is the day which the Lord hath made. That's the day of the Lord. Like, literally the day. It's the Lord's day, the day of the Lord, the day that the Lord hath made. Oh man, that's a whole sermon by itself right there. So Israel, my oh my, that's a lot of stuff to talk about concerning Israel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause or stop our video. We'll do question and answers off of the internet, and if you're watching online and you have a question, comment below, and we will get that answer to you as best as we can.